Hi, my name is Steph. I'm a 25-year-old who doesn't quite know what she's doing with her life. But what I do know is that 2 years ago, I found the love of my life, and this is the story. 2 years ago, I traveled the Philippines with one of my friends. So we went all around the country and we ended up in El Nido. One of those places recognized for its crystal clear waters, amazing activities, and intense adventures. We decided to sign up for a island hopping tour. So during the day, they bring us out to 4 different islands. We're on a boat, having some beers, having some great meals, doing some cliff jumping, swimming in the ocean. We went snorkeling, saw some fishes, saw some turtles, even some rays. We're having an overall great time. By the end of the day, we get to the 4th and final island. On the island, there are some stray dogs. A lot of stray dogs. And being the pet lover that I am, I tried to go down and pet one of the dogs. But it kind of just runs away. And that's when this tiny, frail little dog literally just jumped into my arms. And as soon as I held her, it was instant love. I knew I couldn't let go. And so I told my friends on the tour that I would bring her back to Canada with me. Everyone was having a laugh. No one thought I was really serious, but I was. And so I brought the dog with me on the boat that day, brought her back to my hostel. And once I got there, I started looking up some information. So I realized that I had to bring her to the capital, to Manila, to get some vaccines, get a health certificate, and just make sure that she's healthy and able to come back to Canada with me. So we're in El Nido, and we need to get to Manila, the capital. Usually that's about 50 minutes on a plane ride, but there's no airline wanting my dog inside the flight. So we have to resort to a plan B. Ferries. So we had to do just shy of 20 hours of boat. And might I add, 20 sleepless hours, because there's no actual pet shop on that little island. My dog didn't have a leash, she didn't have a collar, she didn't have anything. So I couldn't fall asleep and let her loose on the boat. I had to stay awake and guard her like an actual little baby until we reached Manila, the capital. Good morning! When we reached Manila, I brought my dog to the vet, and that is when some of the problems started. So the vet told me that my dog was 1 to 2 months old, which is a bit too young to give the vaccine to. And usually when the dog receives the vaccine, they need to wait 1 full month before they can actually leave the country. So at that point, I'm freaking out already, and I completely lost it. There are so many stray dogs. They're injured or alone or starving everywhere, and I don't know what to do, and I really want to bring it back home. I tried to put myself back together and visit a second vet in case we have more luck there. So the second vet weighs my dog, and she weighs in just a bit more than 2 pounds. And I explained my situation. I am crying so hard right now that I think the vet feels a bit bad for me and decides to go ahead and give my dog the first vaccination. She then tells me that if my dog gains enough weight within the next week, she would be able to give the second dose of vaccination, and she would use a little loophole with the dates of vaccines so that I could go back to Canada with my dog. I now have the next 5 days to travel around the Philippines and make my dog eat as much as possible. So there was a lot of this. Some of this. But mostly a ton of this. 5 days later, I get back to the vet with my dog, and now is the most stressed I have ever been in my life. So this weigh-in will determine whether I can bring my dog back or not. So my dog steps on the scale and she weighed 5 pounds. Guys, she literally more than doubled her weight in 5 days. She ate so much. I was almost crying of happiness at that point. So the vet gives the second shot, everything is good, so she gets her certificate of health. So we just had to do a couple more things. So in the next 2 days, we went to the immigration office to get an exit visa for my dog. as well as figure out an airline that would allow my dog on board, because she's too tiny to put on a cage for the 36 hours that it would take on the plane to come back home. So we get all that sorted out, and just like that, we get to the airport and we are on our way back home. Since then, my baby is now officially a Canadian resident. She's experienced the harsh Canadian winters. She's celebrated a few holidays. She's had Christmas. She celebrated Valentine's Day. She's even had her own birthday party. She's made my family and friends fall in love. And she keeps getting bigger and healthier day by day. And this brings us back to today. What I do know is that 2 years ago, I found the love of my life, and so can you. If you want an animal, please consider adopting. There are currently 200 million stray dogs in the world, 70 million of which are in the USA alone. So if you're considering getting a pet, adopt, don't shop. I'll see you next week for the next video.